Yo, it's Muggs calling, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my man. I'm doing well. Appreciate you giving me a call and giving me a chance to talk to you this evening. It's evening here. I'm in Liverpool, so it's a little later.
Yeah. Thanks for your time as well. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. I've been checking out the new album. Sounds really nice, man. A lot of different things. We'll get into that in a little bit. But if you want to, we'll just get to it.
Do it.
All right, man. Back in '88, I think you made the move from the East Coast to LA at about age 20. And, today there's still a lot of people who end up making that journey today. Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like to be 20 years old in 1988 and making that move and how it led to, later touring the world and being in such an iconic group as Cypress Hill?
Yeah, I actually came out here in like 82.
Okay.
To go to high school. At that time, it was a culture shock because you didn't really know what was going on over there. This was before HB was big, and we couldn't turn on the fucking internet and whatnot. So I went to these places, straight leave that shit right on walls, wearing blue jeans, wearing fucking protest, coming to LA just moving to a straight gang culture.
Yeah.
Either you played sports or you was a gangbanger. So it was a real culture shock to me. But I started DJing around 85. I started breakdancing, at that time, and about a year later I started DJing, and with that, I kind of had an advantage because I would be in New York and I would hear, I heard the new Roxanne record, my melody, and I got it the Wiz, it was on Ventura Records, and Nobody Beats the Biz, and I listened to the
classics.
I go from Molly Mall and Mr. Magic to Red Alert and Chuck Chill Out and go back and forth on the radio dial. I still got those cassettes. And then got back to LA, and he was like, what's this? I had KRS-One, fucking South Bronx, and a word from my sponsor on 12-inch on B-Boy Records, and nobody knew what those records were. So being able to go back and forth and being in New York most of the time, because I would always go back for winter. I would always go for the summer for 3 months because I was just I didn't really relate to LA at that time yet. So that was great for me to have that accessibility back and forth. And then I thought that sound because I didn't like West Coast hip hop at the time. There was nothing really I liked, period, until King T came out with a record on the Cola record called The Payback. And that was the first time I heard a West Coast MC that sounded rapping. Who the fuck? This is good. And then, of course, Ice Cube came later, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And things of that nature. So having that at that time, it was a beautiful time, and everything was still open, and and having that knowledge and that experience and being able to come back to New York at the same time, when I come back to New York, they'd be like, oh, the gangbanging in LA? What the fuck's that gangbanging shit? No. Because New York was actually real knowledge shit back then. You get all these books off the streets and you read about, knowledge yourself. You had the 5% Nation, you had the Ball Festivals, you had Zulu, and it was a totally different thing. It seemed like the gang culture infiltrated everything like a fucking cockroach as opposed to the knowledge culture. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's definitely been a lot of change. That's one of the things. As things have changed over the years, how have you seen the fan base change?
Yeah, that's interesting. At that time, breaking ground was one thing. A record would last a fucking year. You put a Public Enemy record in, and you would listen to a fucking record.
Oh, year, yeah.
So many great records weren't coming out. So when great records came out, you listened to that record. Now, there would be a song you hated on that fucking album. By the time you listened to that record so much, you would like that fucking song the best because you just got into everything on an album. Because, now I think music comes and goes so fast. I listen to a record for a week, and I'm like, on to the next.
Over it. Yeah.
Also, you were a hip-hop kid or you were a rock kid. So then kids like me started coming along there. I like rock and hip-hop. The rock kids were like, it's a fucking hip-hop or, hip-hop is back and forth. Now I think kids like rock, hip-hop, electronic, and glitch, abstract, instrumental, break scene. I think to the accessibility for them, it makes them like more genres of music. They can go to more different concerts and appreciate different kinds of music.
Very true, very true. Speaking about how things have changed, you kind of started out with the DJing, and then, Cypress Hill actually went through a period where they kind of went into the live instrumentation. You even did a live album at the Fillmore, and that kind of even has transformed into your latest album, which you know, like you're saying, it deals with a lot more of the electronic and dubstep influence. You know, how has that journey been, you know, going from different styles?
I like music, man, because I'm new sounds, new styles, new challenges. You know what I mean? When I read about Jimmy Page, always looking for a new sound for his new album. And watching the Beatles, the same thing. It's the same thing for me, man. It's like, I need to be inspired. I need new sounds. I need to try new things because I get bored. I get bored. I don't want to get up and make music. I don't want to chop the fucking beat. I'm into that. So when I get challenged again to learn, so, you know, listening to bass music, and it's just, I play in shows. Like, I'll show up in Europe, and I'll get booked for a straight underground hip-hop show. Then the next show, I'm playing with, like, you know, I'm playing with Skrillex and with fucking Aphex Twin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got it, and I always liked, I play a lot of instrumental beats. And when I first heard dubstep, it was just, you know, it was screaming, banger, and people like that. But it was just instrumental music. I didn't know they had a name to it.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a name. I just know, oh, those beats are banging. It reminds me of that early hip-hop shit, like the Killer Rock shit, when it was just chips and scares, you know, maybe a sample. I'm like, this is like that, but fucking bass. Anything with bass is having me going crazy. So, you know, as the time was going on, and I was DJing more, I'm just like telling them with the record, oh shit, I never did that shit. I was like, this, I like this bass. And you come in here and learn and do something different than this. Which, let me say, got me pumped up again to make a lot of hip-hop again. So now I'm sitting here making all hip-hop music again because just going through that, challenge myself, and going through even the learning process to learning new production techniques and new equipment, and maybe like to start sparking those neutrons in my brain to come alive, you know, the creativity again, and the challenges. And it's like, first learn a drum machine, you first learn something, it's fucking hard, you're working at it. You know, you get to a point where you only go into your comfort zone, and you just scratch the surface because it's easy, and there's no more challenges. And at that time, they go, I think that's when the question that happens, what happened to that guy? He was dope. What happened to that guy?
Yeah.
You know,
it's very true.
I'm still inspired, man, which I'm still be inspired to want to do this and want to learn. You know, I watched the interview with Miles Davis early on when he was like, what do you miss? What do you miss the most? He goes, I miss the inspiration. I miss being inspired. And that struck a chord with me to always keep the inspiration, always keep it. And if I got to find it through different musics, different challenges, I will, man, because I know it's going to bring me back to where it all came from, the same spirit, what I'm about.
Music should be passionate.
You should be free to use any sounds in any style and listen. You know, what made Bob Marley huge? Well, they got a bunch of dudes from fucking Nashville to play on his music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's music even bigger. But a lot of people wouldn't even realize that.
You know, talking about the music industry and how it's kind of changed, how has, with the changes in technology and so forth, you know, how has that affected creative control? Because labels don't exactly have the control they once did. Do you find that you have more creative control, maybe not dealing with the major labels as much as they once were?
It's a give. It's a yes. No, I think one thing is anybody can put music out at any time now.
Yeah, very true.
Now there's so much music coming out all at one time. No, there's so many people. It's just so much shit coming out. It's like now you just got to hire marketing guys, different guys. It's just more shit coming out. You control over it, but then you have to control it at the same time. And then there's a big roadblock, and the music ain't worth nothing anymore. It's got to give music away. I have to say one of my songs. And, they need this for there's a new movie soundtrack. Oh, I got $50,000. And now I'm giving away free EPs all the time because that's the ways, that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, it's changed.
Just making that mental switch is a little fun for me. You know, 5 or 6 years ago. Wait a minute, what is that? No, you guys are tripping. I make so much fucking music. It don't matter no more. I get it. I understand where the culture is these days. And you know what I mean? I refuse to ever be the guy going, wait, I can't believe you guys are driving a car and I'm still rolling in fucking horse and buggy. You know what I mean?
You either have to adapt or you kind of, like you were talking previously, you die off. And people wonder where you went, you know? That's what happens.
So you adapt. You got to adapt. Like, I'm adapting to music and changing, but I got to adapt with my sensibility. I don't see with a tight button shirt on, all of a sudden something like this, some probably 28 PMs, with a mask on like that. It's like, man, you got to adapt and bring you to it.
Talking a little bit about your new album now, Bass for Your Face is getting ready to come out, I believe in January. It's supposed to be a very interesting mixture, trip hop, psychedelic, dubstep definitely is an influence from what I've heard off of it. Can you tell me just a little bit about, how this project kind of came about and about the experience of blending all this diversity together?
Yeah, it came about from being involved in the LA beat scene, different clubs out here, and just where you go and it's just instrumental music all night. And kids, new kids, old kids, from Jay Dilla to, Brian Loaded, Buddy Fred, and playing this music all around the world. Going, okay, where do I fit into this whole shit? I'm going to make psychedelic. It was influenced by grits. It was influenced by hip-hop. Influenced by psychedelic. It was influenced by psychedelic. It was influenced by dance. It was influenced by that step and salsa. And when we was meshing together, in my flavor now, what do I want to do with this? Is I want to make a Rock Marcy fan, for instance. Listen to the song I do with Rock Marcy. And I hate that step, the electronic and go. And I hate that shit, but this shit is dope. I think we did that with Cypress Hill, and I think Public Enemy and Run DMC did that. I hate rap music, but I like Cypress Hill and Public Enemy and the Beastie Boys and Run DMC. So I wanted to, that's where I was at. I'm traveling and I see so much music and hear so much music. It might be too much for some people because they don't see what I see and hear what I hear every day. So they might just be in their little world and like what they like. And that's cool, but I do this for me, man. I do this for me to clean up me a good palette, to experiment, to reach out inside different things.
I think, the passion definitely comes through more if you're doing it for yourself as opposed to just trying to do something that you think will be successful.
There was a little problem with the label. The label's like, where's the hit? And I'm like, what's your hit? I've never made a hit record. I've made records that I've liked that happen to get on the radio, that people have. Thank you very much. But I've never made a hit. The only record that I've ever had that was a hit record. If you listen to what's on the radio at that time, they never sounded like none of that horse shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know what a hit record is. I know what I like. I know what I'm going to make. And I've never sold a record in my life. You guys are in the business of selling records. I'm in the business of making records. Now, here's the product. We're free to go sell it. Let's see how you know how to sell music,
Do it, yeah.
I just make the shit, and I make what I like. And that's what it is.
As your track record's proven, that's a pretty good formula for success right there.
Yeah, I'm in this for the long haul. Like you're saying, I'm not going to throw something out and go, okay, this is it. No, this is another. When you look back, but after I make 20 more albums, which I'm planning on making, that's my goal, is to make 20 more albums before I'm done. And when you look back, this is going to be part of the whole history. I
want to shift gears a little bit and kind of get into a little different side other than the music. The background with Cypress Hill there's always been kind of an association with marijuana use. With today, the way things have changed, pharmaceutical companies still flood the TVs with ads for pills. They kind of sound more dangerous than what they're supposed to cure. But with marijuana becoming more accepted in the states, states voting on it and legalizing it in certain instances, how do you see this kind of affecting society as a whole?
It's just our culture that grew up with marijuana. It's not really fucking hurt nobody like that. I think, kids grew up open-minded, and now you got the internet. You got more things you can go read about it, more you can find out things about it. I think, it's getting to the point where it's not such a bad thing, But at the same time, if you want to have the other argument, everything's a fucking bad thing. Too much pork, too much beef, too much cigarettes. But that's why we're in a free society, because you're going to make that choice. Alcohol is the worst fucking thing ever.
Amen.
They don't like the gangsters were doing the same thing with the defenders with the drugs, you know what I mean? So I'm going to smoke. It's here. It's always been legal to me. It's always been here, and it's always going to be here. The nice thing about it being legal is that, if you're not going to go read the mold in it. Every time you go to the store, you're going to get Kush or sativa, as opposed to going to your weed man and goes, I ain't got sativa this time. I only got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like, besides that, it's all about taxing
thinking, kind of going in, you mentioned California being broke. You know, what is your view, or how do you feel about, you know, our government, the leadership that's going on, and all the nonsense, if I can elaborate my own opinion a little bit, that's going on in our nation right now? You know, what's kind of your view on that, and what needs to happen to, you know, fix things?
The same shit, man. It's always been going on. It's just bullshit, you know.
So you don't really get too caught up in the whole election thing. It's kind of like whoever's elected, it don't matter.
Get caught up in that. I mean, I don't get caught up in nothing, because what's going to happen is going to happen. We got people who want to manage the company. They say what they want to do and what they would like to do. You know, they're not the owners. They're not the CEOs. They're just a guy like that might be managing. You know, managing, and the board members are going to make the decision. They should just get 7 fucking wise men to sit down, make a plan, and move forward. It takes 20 years to do this in a society like this. When you try to flip things up every 4 years, then you got one side fighting the other side, and they spent 4 years not doing what's best for the people, but 4 years trying to discredit this guy, make sure he can't do anything. So if he don't win the next 4 years, you know, the Republicans spent 4 years doing that with Obama. Instead of like, let's do what's best for the American people. Nobody does that. You know what I'm saying? It's still the divide and conquer thing. I'd say we got two different people to choose from. Well, I don't want one. I don't just have a fucking real plan. Like, I mean, we all got common sense. Common sense is our fucking party. The common sense party. It's good as the people. I understand both sides, you know. I think everybody should have health care. But I don't think there should be a fucking motherfucker sitting there smoking cigarettes all day, eating some pork and stuff in McDonald's all day, and I gotta pay for his shit. You see what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
But there's two sides to everything. I wish we got cut and dry, man. You know?
You learn there's a lot more gray than just black and white.
It's all fucking gray.
Yeah.
I wish it was black and white. You know, the best thing I can do is be the best person I can be, and be the kind of human beings I can raise to make a change in this world, and to make people aware. And, you know, lo and behold, people are being more aware. Thank God for the internet. So one thing it's doing is making people have access to knowledge. They never had access to knowledge, because when I was a kid, we used to get these underground big grade tapes, these fucking 9th generation fucking DCR tapes, you know, with different things about the president, da-da-da-da. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist per se, but there's certain things that are true. It's all economics. It's all about banks. Well, yeah, no, we can't get rid of the fucking oil, because if we did, the economy would collapse. So it's all about economy. It's all about implementing change, and implementing change slowly, you know? But we got to get on game plan to make this change. So if we keep flipping our fucking game plan, the change is going to take 100 years as opposed to 25 years.
Yeah.
Kind of wanting to wrap up here with the political discussion. A couple years ago, Cypress Hill took a stance, I think it was in 2010, when Arizona passed their immigration legislation. In general, do you feel like it's important for artists that are in this position of influence on society to, you know, stand up and speak out about something if they feel, you know, it's not right? Or is it just an artist's job to just, quote unquote, entertain?
It would be nice. It would be nice, you know. I notice a lot of artists start off about themselves, and then they get to a point, I think they realize all this money and this fame and shit, and then they go and they start watching them, and they start looking for something different, spirituality, and they start looking for their spirituality, and I think out of that, they start wanting to make a change. And it's usually when they hit, you know, the third or fourth album, right? And, you know, it would be great if more spiritual people made music and wanted to change the world. That would be fabulous. It's nice when people take that responsibility upon themselves. You know, it'd be nice if spiritual people can run the world. Some do. And those are called religious countries, and I think that's what this country tried to break free from. And I had that. So we got gangsters running the fucking world. The fucking gangster, and it was some nice guys. Some motherfuckers going to smoke on something and say this shit anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it is our job as the elders to educate the youth.
Okay.
It's very important. Don't leave it up to the schools. You know, when I feel that the students can try to count and ABC and fucking that's horseshit. But when the children really need to learn, it's up to you to educate your children. You need to constantly educate yourself so you don't see them horseshit.
Could not agree with you more, man. On a little bit of lighter note, tell me, when do we get to see a live show from the new album?
In Atlanta and St. Louis. Yeah, I've been out playing. I'm gonna jump in the studio for the next month, and then I think we start going back out on first week of February. I think they're checking that up right now.
That sounds awesome. I'll be looking to try and catch a show for sure. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today, man. It's really, it has been an honor. I've been a big fan for a long time, so I really do appreciate you taking out the time to talk to me, and wish you well and the best of everything, my friend.
Thank you very much, man. Have a great day.
All right, you too.